Let's get into this first kickoff. I'm excited. Let's start off this prospect here with a bang.
This should be pretty good. I mean, as we see, Iron already playing offense.
Yeah, not at all what we were predicting, but they do have a lot of offense here and a lot of pressure in the offensive end. But Beans is able to get a great clear out towards the opposite side of the field, following it up, and is unable to get a touch, but gets the bounce, or gets the bump rather, and Fruity's able to get it up the wall and clear it out in the way. Teams are sort of just feeling themselves out, feeling out the other opposition as a mistouch here comes, but Carnage Wolfbite is able to get that save. Yeah, just a lot of ping pong, a lot of back and forth right now, and reasonably so because you are just getting into things.
Yeah, I mean, like I said in the first series, the first finals tonight, these first games are usually those feeler matches, like who's good where, what can we get away with, who is good where here, you know, who's going to shoot more, who's going to opt for the, you know, the safe possessive touch, who's going to bang the ball. So I'm excited to see who figures out the other team first.
Yep, and that's ultimately what game 1 and 2 really boil down to is how does this team play and how can we adapt to play them. And we are now seeing a lot of offense out of this Rodan squad as Disease able to take it, I'll put it towards a 50 with Moldy PBJ. Moldy PBJ, wow, that is a mouthful. I'm going to call you PBJ instead of Moldy PBJ. But he makes some sort of pressure touch here as the blanking, as the Iron team now take the possession in the offensive side.
Yeah, this should be pretty good as Beans and Fruity are up for it. They 50 it in the mid. This seems to be some pretty great offensive pressure here. As I mean, they're even passing it to each other in the final third. I'm excited to see how Iron continue to play this first match.
Iron definitely have a lot of offense here, and they are definitely putting in these infield passes into play. And making this Rodan squad know, like, hey, we're here for a reason, and it's not because we make a lot of saves, it's because we make a lot of smart plays. As PBJ is able to get it off of the wall and is able to try to get it another touch here, but Fruity's able to beat him to it, and now nobody around for the metal squad here, as they are able to put it away to the left side wall. Beans is up for it. Beans gets one touch, goes for two, goes off the back wall, goes off the corner, and oh no, just misses. Nobody's able to make a touch here for the Kaiju squad, and Kaiju still maintain that pressure for themselves as we go into the later half of the game.
I'm pretty sure Iron are very happy that that one didn't go in. That was a lot of pressure and a lot of awkward defense for them, and I would say they're pretty happy that Rodan couldn't put that one in. As we get a goal here from Fruity. A misread off the backboard, and Fruity is there to collect it and shoot it to the back of the net.
Yep, he just finds himself in the right place at the right time, right in the slot. The ball goes down off the waterfall, little pass here for them, and they're able to slot away their first goal of the series and of the game. And now the Iron find themselves up 1-0.
That was really heads-up play there from Fruity. He recognized that Disease was not hitting that off the backboard, and that Beans, she was just too far away to save it. So, just smart reads.
Yeah, I am seeing a little bit of awkwardness on both sides of the field. A little bit of awkward here for the defense, but they're able to clear it out in the way. Another shot opportunity comes from Carnage, but is unable to solidify that goal. But just a little bit wonky here on defense for both sides of the field. You know, you have Iron over here. They've had a couple of double and triple commits, and then you have Rodan over here, and their team bumping and getting things worked out in that regard. But as things slowly start to work themselves out, as the paper unfolds, and we're able to get a good game in here, as the players feel themselves out, and a great clear just comes of it, and the Rodan now slot away their first. Carnage Wolfbite's able to just slot that one away. What a sniper. And it just comes off the back wall. Everybody is pushed a little bit too far up. Third man's not able to make that touch. And now we got a 1-1 ball game.
Yeah, that was a really exceptional clear from Carnage there. That, I mean, I don't think anybody, even I would have expected that to come from him. And it just kind of sails across the field, rolls right in, nice and pretty, and we've evened the score.
Yep, and we do have a tie ball game going into the last 60 seconds of this game now, as the Kaiju franchise now find themselves going onto the offensive side of things. A great clear here by Robert. Robert's going to try to sauce up a pass. It goes wide. Great clear touch by the Rodan defender. Another shot opportunity. It goes off the crossbar and down. And the Rodan come out, another opportunity missed by the Metal franchise. And it's almost like if you're on Rodan, you better go buy a lottery ticket because you're just getting bailed out and getting lucky touches off of the crossbar and off of the post here. That fourth defender coming in clutch.
Gosh. That was such a free goal. Oh no. Nerves seem to be the story of a lot of these first games, and I think a lot of teams are just trying to work through the. I mean, you're in finals, you're on stream. You know, the air of the night is a lot different when you're in finals. So I totally expect a lot of miss open nets, a lot of just weird, awkward plays, and a lot of saves that just don't come through. And as the games go on, everyone will start adjusting, and we'll start seeing, you know, how these teams really play without the influence of the context of the situation. You know what I mean?
Right, the pressure of the stream, the pressure of the finals, the championship cup on the line. It's a Discord trophy, but like, hey, that's still something, you know? We do find ourselves at the first overtime of the series in game 1 here, and a lot of back and forthness coming out of the first like 30 seconds of this game as Beans trying to make something happen for their squad. Now touch trying to be made wifty there out in the middle as a wide open net. Backboard pass here. Z's trying to put that one away, but is unable to. Nobody now challenging the ball. It goes to Beans. Beans is able to try to make something happen here for themselves. Beans now getting a 50 here. Fruity's able to win that 50. Z's off to the side wall now. Fruity making another touch, trying to make some sort of play happen for their team. Now Carnage trying to get another touch. A little bit of a miscalculation there on that aerial from the Iron franchise player, or the Metal franchise player from the Iron. As it now is in there at half, Disease trying to scramble back for the ball. Beans, a miscalculated touch as it gets sent sky high. Carnage is able to get it. Robert trying to make some sort of bump play, make something happen for his team. And a shot is just put on net, but Beans is able to save it. Great save, hero save in the overtime. Beans and Disease now trying to work stuff out here. Weird team bump coming from Carnage. See, this is the type of stuff that we were talking about. The weird awkwardness on the defensive side of things for both teams, but like I said, so hopefully things kind of like sort themselves out and you get a little bit more cleaner Rocket League out of both teams. There's a great shot opportunity. Here comes as he gets the bump. Robert's just got to solidify it, and he does. And that is a great play from Fruity as he gets the pass, a couple bumps, and then just like, I'm going to muscle man this one if you can just toss it on in. And that's exactly what happens.
Yeah, that was a great bump play. I'm excited to see how these next games play out because, you know, as people start to realize, hey, like they're really beating us here, we need to start playing better here or do whatever here. There's like these first few games are so like I just don't like watching them. No offense, it's just like it's hard to really get a grip on like who is the better team in the first one because I mean they're always so close. You know, it's a 1-2 game. And there was a lot of really weird offense and there were a lot of really weird defense. So hopefully game 2, people start to figure out like, hey, we need to start getting our rotations cleaned up and start really calming hard. I mean, there were some really great like ideas I saw from a lot of players. Like I saw from Beans, she took possession of the ball quite a bit, and I always love to see possession plays. She opted for dribbles more often, and yeah, that you know they didn't win the game, but you know that's going to be something to look for. Like, is she going to go for a dribble play in the future? I mean, Disease, he had some really great clears. Carnage, he had really great backboard reads. And I mean, Fruity, PB&J, and the rest of Iron, like their defense is really solid. I'm excited to see how they make use of this physical play that won them the first game.
Oh, definitely. And might I add, like, just that last series in general, you know, or that last game in general, really. We talked about Iron. We talked about how we thought they were going to be defensive, and then they come out and they just completely blow us away. You know, Fruity taking that MVP, he had 6 shots alone. So they're just like, yeah, I mean, we're not defensive. We can play offensive too.
Yeah, I mean, they've totally flipped the script from what I thought it was going to be. It's, you know, I thought it was going to be, you know, Kaiju are a really offensive team. You know, they're the ones that are always... Oh, I think I might have bugged my game, actually. I am stuck. But, yeah, like, the script has been flipped of what I thought it was going to be originally. So,
yeah, definitely. definitely a little bit of a role reversal off of the stats lines. But we get into this next game here. Almost a minute has played through, and we're seeing a little bit more back and forth than we did in that first game here. But a lot of pressure coming now out of the Iron Squad as another shot opportunity comes in their favor. Disease is able to make another great clearing touch out towards the center here, and no shot comes of it because no bumps were able to be made here. But now we're finding Rodan on the offensive side of things, and another banging clear here for the Iron. And it's just like that back and forth gameplay that we had in the first game, but no really like pressing shots coming of it. You know, you've got the ball being lobbed towards the center, you've got the passes being made, but you don't have that shooter there. You have that shooter going for bumps now, and yes, sometimes that works. Or you have that passer going for bumps, and yes, that sometimes does work.
What a shot.
Great shot coming from Beans, yes, I totally agree there, but like, none of the pressure that is mounting is really causing either team to fold, and that's why we find ourselves scoreless up until this point. So definitely rework your offenses here a little bit, but I mean, still great, phenomenal prospects here gameplay coming out for us right now.
Yeah, they've played outstanding so far, and I mean that save from PB&J, that was really incredible to get back there in time. I think that definitely after the first game, both teams have spread out. And that's why we're seeing so many of these large clears. It's turning into more of like, okay, we're finding our rotation, we're getting our stuff, you know, our ducks in a row. And I mean, I would like to point out also, Wolfbite has changed into the Octane from the Dominus, so I'm curious to see how he plays differently now that he's got a new car. I mean, he has been going for a couple of demo plays, so that has been different from the last game.
Right, and that just goes to show like how adaptive these players can become. You know, if one play style isn't working for you, let's try something up. Let's try something else. Let's switch something up. And that's just really kudos to everybody in these lower tiers. You know, Prospect and Contender, which we have seen tonight, have both been able to adapt to the other team and the other team's style of play. And that's where you find so many of these late scoring games, these overtime games coming in. But a great clear comes from Beans, and it just goes in because there's no defender back for the Iron Squad. Beans slots away her first goal. I believe this is it is an assist off of Carnage Wolfbite. I'm not sure where that pass came in here, but he does get a credit and an assist. So we got our first goal of the game late into this one.
I think what happened there was it pinched off the ceiling, and then Beans, she had an excellent respawn and just right off the rip, just went at it and took the challenge and won it into the net. So well played.
Definitely well played. You do have a little bit of a double commit there from the Rodan squad, as Carnage is able to get a save because he was able to regroup and recollect himself and recover a little bit better. He puts a shot or a pass off the backboard. Shot goes just wide. He gets a demo. A great demo, might I add, as the defense is now left scrambling, but Robert is able to put it away to the side corner. Carnage and Disease find themselves both in that corner, and Carnage just stays in there, hunkers down and gets a couple of 50s trying to stall for his team as they get back. And Disease, now last man back, has to make a touch, and he does. Disease now playing into the wall, gets a great flick over Fruity. Disease continuing this sort of counterattack off early as he thought about going for that bump play, but is unable to, and because he hesitates, is unable to mount any sort of pressure and make a pass off of here. Carnage, Wolfbite, and Beast now trying to talk stuff out as it goes just left of the post, and nothing comes of that as a wide open net opportunity is missed here from this Iron Squad, and now it's back and forth, but there's no defense. You know, first we saw a lot of defense, and now we're seeing hardly any defense.
Yeah, we were, at the beginning of this match, they were definitely a little bit more spread out, a little bit farther back as third on both teams, and it seems like all of that has gone out the window now that the first goal has been scored. I mean, I understand it from Iron's perspective, because, I mean, you got to score, there's only 30 seconds left. I understand being more aggressive, but, I mean, from Rodan, I would like to at least see them hunker down a bit, you know, slow the game down, play it slow. Because, I mean, it's just their game to lose at this point. One thing that kills me the most is when teams that are winning just throw it away because they suddenly just for fun it. You know, like, I'll just go for the ceiling shot for fun. And then now you're out of position and you're out of boost and now you've left your team alone and now you've let them have a goal and now you're going into overtime for fun. What a shot and what a save. Holy cow.
What a play.
Yeah, I know.
What
I'm
what a
rambling.
play in general.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, I mean, the Rodan find themselves up. Great clear just gets slotted away as the open net is hit by Beans. Beans taking the MVP here for the Rodan squad as now the series is tied at 1. And so you go back to first game, lots of defense. Second game, hardly any defense and hardly able to capitalize is either team. But because Rodan was able to slot away one shot, and turn it into a goal, they find themselves tying up the series as we get into this next game in game 3. But yeah, what in general should change for both teams? Something's not working it's quite as well as they would like it to be, and I think it's something on the defensive side for each teams. If they just iron that stuff out, and no pun intended, but if they just work that stuff out, and those awkward team bumps and those awkward double commits, and just get your momentum generated in a different direction is what's really going to sell it for, I think, the team that takes this next game. And I think that the team that does take this next game is going to be huge for them because it's going to allow that pressure and allow that momentum to build. And then because of it, that's when you're finding that team to get more comfortable and take better opportunities and better shots and not just throw themselves at the ball like we have seen in the past couple games.
Yeah, and to add on to your point, especially with that third man rotation that you pointed out, there is a sub now for who was it? They literally were just in the last game. Carnage and Beans, they've subbed out the other person on that team. Oh my god, the name is escaping me. But we now have Ben put in, so I'm curious to see if that changes their third man rotation. Maybe Ben is a little bit more patient with it, and I mean, even I guess he's not patient. He's just coming out full swing, just beating people up on the pitch with demos. But I'm curious to see how Metal handles this. I would like to see them play a little bit more patient when they're on defense. I mean, I guess both teams, but especially Iron after that last game.
Yeah, so I think the name that was escaping you was Disease. So Disease was subbed
yeah.
out, and Ben is able to put in another a shot on for himself. He's able to say, like, I'm putting in this game for a reason, and here's why. Disease is an interesting substitute out, right? Because if you think about it, they just won a game. Great shot. But they just won a game. And so you had a winning lineup out of that, and because something has changed, because they can't get quite collected together immediately, you have a goal put on by Fruity as he's able to slot away that one early into this game. But now they have to create that chemistry, rebuild that bond that was putting them together as a team that you did just previously have with Disease. Now, granted, I don't know if the captain thought that Disease was just not playing correctly or playing their style of Rocket League correctly or up to their normal level of play, but because of that, now you have this weird disconnect. So we'll see how it affects the game. It doesn't really seem to be affecting it too much, as Rodan is able to put on a lot of pressure here in this first minute of the game here, but they still find themselves down a goal.
I gotta be honest, this is some really strange gameplay from Iron here. I said that they should be patient, but now, for 30 seconds, they were all just sitting in net while Rodan was just peppering the backboard and everything. I'm curious to see how this one plays out if they continue the rest of the game like this.
Yeah, I mean, we'll see. They now take on offensive possession here, and they're able to get some great passes and create some great shot opportunities as one goes wide, and it just gets chipped in over the defender there as Moldy PB&J just slots in goal number 2, and I believe that was their first goal of the game. So, I mean, yeah, definitely a little bit weird there for a little bit, but I think that they recollect themselves. They recovered well, and they get another goal here just with 3 minutes left of the game to play.
Yeah, I mean, I think this is kind of following the story of their stats. Like, they don't shoot a lot, but when they do, it goes in. Type stuff, They don't have as many goals as Rodan does, but they do have the same shot percentage, So that's pretty solid, all things considered. If you don't take as many shots and if you're saving the ball more often.
Yep, this definitely living up to be true to what we saw from the stats lines. You mentioned that they do have a lot of saves and they're able to counterattack relatively decently as they get a shot on because of that counterattack and find the defense a little bit awkward as they're team bumping, but no opportunity comes on because of it. And now we got a little bit of a counterattack. Is this a 2-on-1, 3-on-1 now? A great demo play. Carnage just has to slot it in, and he does. What a play out of the Rodan as they find themselves up, or if they find themselves cutting the deficit of the lead in half, now going to 2-1.
I kind of like this new style of play from Rodan. It's so funny. They're just like, all right, well, if they're not gonna let us score on them, we'll just beat them up and then score. Like, we'll just kill them. They can't save the ball if they're dead. And I really enjoy that style of Rocket League. But it doesn't matter. Fruity's just gonna take a really nice controlled touch. It's going to come right off of the crossbar and right onto the tip of his nose and go in.
Great pass there by PB&J. An even better read over here by Fruity as he is just waiting in the slot and is able to get that one away. It is now 3-1 in favor of the Iron. And the next kickoff ensues, and another Iron opportunity here as it goes backboard. He just needs to make a touch, and he unfortunately is unable to, and the second man is unable to put it on as well as it just goes wide here. And now here come the Rodan. You know, all three players committing here. A great flick, but nobody's able to finish it for them. Beans now trying to make that pressure. Just beat, and all of the Rodan find themselves out of position, and this one just rolls in for Moldy PB&J.
You know, at this point, I'm kind of curious as to why they subbed in Ben. I liked the mojo they had going last game. They may not have scored as much as they would like to, but I mean, I think that it disrupted their team more than it disrupted the other team. You know, that sometimes that shake-up, you do it to get in the other team's head, you know, like, we can beat you with 4 people or whatever, you know. And I get that they've been running that 4-man roster all season, but maybe we go back to the main 3 we started with, just to see what happens.
Yep, we'll definitely see how that plays out as it is now 5-1 as Fruity slots away another goal. Fruity with a hat trick. Go ahead. I've said it once now. It was one time in this stream. I don't remember for which tier, if it was prospect or contender, but throw your hats in now. We got a hat trick on the pitch. 3 goals for Fruity and 2 for Moldy PBJ. That's just a power duo, holding up to be true to their names and showing us why they belong up playing these higher level teams. It's a great 50 comes on from Moldy PBJ and tries to get a pass off, but nobody's there waiting in the slot. Ben puts it away. But to go back to your point, a great shot there by Ben. Is turned away by the defender, but to add on to your point, like, yeah, Disease was subbed out, but like that just goes to show if it's not broke, don't fix it. You know, even if your player is not living up to what you expect them to live up to, there is no reason to make that substitution because nothing has become of their absence of potential. And now because that disruption in their chemistry has been made, they now find themselves in a hole, 5-1, 30 seconds left into this game. You know, like, I'm not saying it's impossible to come back and win this one, but man, it is going to be hard against a team that has just been so solidly offensive the entire time.
I don't know, 4 goals in 15 seconds. I would say this one's probably sold and put away. I would like to see this next game from Rodan. Can you mind if I do like a little coaching sesh real quick? Drop some knowledge for people who don't know it.
Do you. You do what you gotta do.
But what I like to do is when it comes to bumps and demos, there's only one time you need to be doing this, is if you have a man advantage in the situation. If it's a 2v1, you want to demo the one person, have one person go and kill him. If it's a 3v2, have someone demo that second guy, make it a 3v1. You know, you want to make sure that shot is guaranteed as well. Like there's like 2 things that like are just so crucial to demos is that man advantage, and then also that shot has to be guaranteed from the person behind you. Because if you demo that guy and there's no one shooting, like, why did we send 2 people? I think Rodan just sent like Ben and Beans at the net, and there was, you know, Carnage was not in the spot to shoot that ball from the corner. I mean, you need to have somebody available to score it. What does it matter if they're dead and if you have no one that can shoot it, you know? Uh, so I need Rodan this next game to uh, just kind of be more picky with their demo plays. Yeah, it's fun to beat up the other team, and I was having a great time with that one that got them a goal this game, right? Where they killed 2 people, and that's all well and good, but I need to see, some brain cells, sparking, from when they choose to pick these demos and um, when they go for these bump plays. Oh, what
Yeah,
DC?
I would definitely agree with you there. It does look like we're having a little bit of trouble coming into this next game, but I do believe that the substitution has been made. I believe it is Disease back into the game for the Rodan squad. I believe that that switch has been made, um, and because of that, I think that they might be able to salvage something and bring back that pressure. I believe that they're trying to make up for what they had lost in the last game by bringing Disease back in, and we'll see how that turns out. Like, we'll see if that chemistry was broken up because he sat a game. We'll see if he's still hot. We'll see if he's still able to make the touches that he needs to be making as that third potential player. But it is so difficult to really continue that momentum once it has been broken, and because of that, we'll see how it shakes up going into Game 4.
Yeah, I think all the momentum is kind of in Metal's pocket right now. They took that last game 5-1, and it didn't look like they were really sweating all that hard. Yeah, they lost 1 goal to actually a really exceptional demo play, but they didn't really have too many dangerous situations on defense to where they really needed to worry that whole game, aside from that 1 goal that went in. But at that point, it was pretty inconsequential because they had 4 extra insurance goals, you know? So I am hoping to see uh, just being more picky and choosy with the demos from Kaiju, and maybe some more like infield pass plays from Metal here. What are you looking to see this next game as we get into it?
I mean, I'm just looking to see more of that back and forth that we were seeing in games 1 and 2. I'm hoping to see a little bit more aggression out of the Rodan. I hope it's more calculated aggression out of the Rodan. And like you said, those demo plays, don't just chase for a demo. Do what you got to do to make a play and have the demo be in that play and create that wide open space. I'm gonna go off script here as a goal goes in.
Beautiful.
Exactly what we were just talking about. It's almost like we called it.
See, this is what I was saying. That's what I'm saying. That is the perfect time to go for a demo goal. It was a 2v1. You send Carnage at the player in net, and now it's a 1v0. It's so free, but that shot has got to be guaranteed. That's the only like 2 factors that need to be relevant in a demo play.
Yep, exactly. I mean, that's just like textbook offense right there at its finest. Get the man out of the goal. You're able to find somebody else in the slot making that shot. You can just completely open it up for anybody and everybody to make a shot, and it just so happens to go in.
Oh my goodness, dude!
Playing there by Disease, he says, "I am back with a vengeance. I'm one to get in here and do some work here," as he's able to make a great dribble play. Another great aggressive play here, though, by the person in front of him, able to clear out that goal, make that potential demo play or that potential bump play, get into that defender's head and make them move out of the way and just blow things wide open. Once again, the Rodan find themselves in aggressive situations, but aggressive situations that make sense for the offensive pressure that they can afford.
Yeah, by the way, nice read, Fruity. That was a great read off the corner. I just want to, real quick, can I praise Carnage here for that play? The man he got one person to jump, it sent him away into the corner, and then he also just straight up, like, bullied the person in net for Disease. He was like his fullback, He's just like, get behind me, I'll get you this one for free. But, that lead was cut in half shortly by Fruity, who has this series just had some really, really great reads off the wall, and he is certainly keeping his team in it.
Oh, definitely. I think that if anybody stand out on this squad, it would definitely be Fruity, as they find themselves putting away the most goals and have the most like accurate pressure. But like that's not to say that they're stand out for any other reason, just offense. But they've been making saves and making all sorts of shots. A great
Oh man.
pass there by Robert. Nobody's able to slot that one away for the Iron Squad. But um, I think in general, just the the style of Rocket League has completely changed for both teams, and the intelligence Rocket League has come into play over let's just throw something at the ball and hope something works. Now you see, okay, if I hit this touch, I make that touch, I go for the demo, somebody's going to be behind me to make that shot. So I don't need to chase the ball here. I don't need to throw myself at it. So definitely a little bit stylistically different than the first couple of games. A great save there by Carnage Wolfbite. Um, but yeah, it's a more calculated Rocket League versus smooth brain Rocket League now.
Yeah, I like to call it lazy Rocket League, but that's just me because that's how I play. Is if I don't have to do something, I'm not gonna do it. Like there's no if I'm in no rush, I'm not gonna be wasting boosts. There's no need. I mean, the longer you play, the more you find that really good players, it's not about how fast you are, it's about how much movement you're wasting. Like, if you are over air rolling, you're wasting a lot of movement. Or if you're always boosting, you're wasting a lot of boost. You know, you're wasting your position. It really, like, heck, you can even look at, like, the pros and their average speed on ball chasing, if anyone uses that. Like, they don't move all that fast and compared to I'm only 1700. Certain players like Justin and Squishy make me look like I don't have any thumbs, you know. But like I'm just as fast as them. It's just their decision making and their movement is that much better. And that's as you start to get up, the better you read the ball and the less movement and boost and position you waste, like the higher you go. And I'm so happy to see that this game from Rodan and Iron.
Great 50 there by PB&J as they're trying to mount some sort of offense here for their team. Another pass off the backboard. Somebody's going to go up for it. He is, but he's not able to make the shot because there are two defenders there for the Rodan, trying to solidify this win there for themselves, as they definitely needed to tie this series up and to crush the momentum and the pressure that the Iron Squad has amounted at this point. You know, they brought back Disease. Disease has definitely made an impact here as they make another good touch here to try to break off that pressure that the Iron was amounting. But Disease, bringing Disease back in, I'm not saying taking him out was a bad decision, but he is definitely showing why he deserves to be in this game. As a weird little awkward touch here has to come on for the defense, they're able to make it, but you see the chemistry being built back up. You see the opportunities
Oh, a
being
flick
made.
from Beans! What a dribble
flick
play!
from Beans, and it goes in, and Beans slots away their second goal. She is just not to be stopped.
Did I not call this though? Did I not
Definitely.
call that she was? Game one, I was like, she has the ball on the ground. I'm excited to see what kind of possession play she makes with it, and she sinks a dribble play to put them 3-1.
Definitely a great play as a backboard touch comes off as it needed to be made by Disease. Disease makes it, but the defender is there. We're down to the last 30 seconds of this game, and Rodan find themselves comfortably situated into the Irons half, and a great counterattack coming on from PB&J as they're able to make that touch. Beans now has to make another touch. Is awkward off the back wall, and that one goes in because of PB&J's counterattack touch, and then gets this follow-up touch. So, I mean, it's really just more calculated Rocket League at this point, like I had mentioned earlier.
Yeah, that was a nice shot, but in my opinion, that could have been saved by Beans. That's where I was saying with that like lazy Rocket League. Like if you don't need to go on the back wall, like you don't have to save it, then don't go on the back wall. Like you can drive up the back wall just as fast as already just being there. You know, you just have to position yourself a little bit better, and then you don't have to deal with the fact that you almost that the team can potentially come back. Now you're only one goal up, right? But with those insurance goals, I'm sure Rodan are very happy to take this one. What is the series at? It's 2-2 right now?
Tied. We're tied at 2 right
Yeah.
now. Yes.
Jeez.
So to add to your comments on that, right? So like, yeah, that's why you get insurance goals. That's why you try to mount as much pressure as you can, because if something does go awry or you do make a little bit of a miscalculation in your playing ability or in the touch that you're able to make, or maybe just something messes up, you had your dog run through the room or something like that, and you need to yell at him to stop or whatever. Like just relax. That's why the insurance goals are there. That's why you're able to afford something like that to happen. And because the insurance was there, the Rodan take that game, and now the series is tied at 2.
Yeah, I'm excited to see where this goes from here because these games have been really something to watch. I enjoy pretty much every goal that goes in. It's all usually pretty calculated. And right now, I do believe we have a poll coming up. Who do you guys think are going to win Game 5? And I'm going to actually ask you, Mr. Lo-Fi, who do you think is going to take the next game?
Oh man, okay, I just want to say this really quickly. I love the scuffedness to your overlay right now, Rex. I don't know if you have looked at your camera just yet, but you have like basic block text there with your name on it. I love it. But so going ahead into game 5, right? We've seen the chemistry rebuilt over here by this Rodan squad. We've seen a lot of pressure being mounted earlier on in the series by the Iron squad, so I think this is another coin toss. Who's to say that one team is better than the other right now? It's just like, let's put them on the field and let's make them make plays for themselves.
Yeah, you know, I get that you're trying to stay impartial, but I think Rodan, whatever the heck you're gonna call the monster from Godzilla, I think they do have a slight edge since they won the previous game, and you have Wolfbite going for these really just full force head-on apply directly to the forehead demo plays. And it seems like Iron doesn't really have a good enough answer to defend against them.
I'm loving the play that I'm seeing out of Carnage. I think that it's all like calculated. I think it's all thought out. I think that the majority of his plays, he's not just throwing himself at the wind and throwing himself at the will of the Rocket League gods and hoping that something happens. He's thinking about it. He needs to make a play. He calculates and adjusts because of that play, and then he goes and executes. And I'm loving this aggression, this newfound form of just beauty that is this bump first and demo first type of a style that he's been embracing recently. So I'm really looking forward to seeing how this shapes up into the game. But we're still scoreless going into past this first minute, but they do seem to be playing a lot on their heels as a goal goes in. Great shot from Moldy PB&J as he's able to slot that in the left top right corner. Or the left top right corner? No, the top left corner. There we go.
Yeah. He got off the ground real quick for that one. That was a really nice read. That ball was falling out of the nosebleed seats and coming right down on top of the net, and he sinks it right where no one's at. That was great placement, and that was great heads-up play from him to recognize that he could be there and take the shot.
Definitely. So now the Rodan have to answer, right? You got to play smart again. You got to get Beans in a position to where she can shoot. You got to put Carnage into a position where he can make that bump play as it just goes top left for him.
Oh my goodness.
It just slots itself in from Disease, and that's what we're kind of hoping for. You get Carnage Wolf into a position where he can potentially make a play and potentially like mess with the minds of the defense, and then you have somebody waiting behind ready to react with a shot. And just 1, 2, 3 textbook stuff. And now you got a tie ball game at 1.
Oh, is that a kickoff? Wait, hold on. Was that a speed flip from Beans there? I'm excited to see how if there are more kickoffs and she's there, how that's gonna play out. Oh my God! What a shot! What a pass! Actually,
great back pass.
Great. Just talking about anything else but the game, but that was what a great little side touch to Beans. Fruity was never gonna be ready for that, and Beans just shoots a laser beam into the top right corner.
Yep, Wolfbite again showing why he is the playmaking player of this squad. He's able to get that little back pass touch. He doesn't always have to go for the monkey mode gameplay where he's going straight for those demos. He's going straight for those bumps. He's showing like, I can pass, I can shoot, I can do this, I'm offense here, I'm on here for a reason, and this is why, We do have Beans now putting it back into the defense of the Iron. Beans able to try to make a play out of it, does not get the touch that she is wanting as Carnage makes another great pass, but nobody was able to make a shot because of it, as nobody was waiting for it. Carnage Wolf by going for another pass, gets it off the ceiling, gets the flip reset, is able to do something with it, even if it is just catch it on his bottom part of his car. Now we got a little bit of a dangerous situation as you do have a 2-on-1 here
Oh
for
my goodness,
Wolffight.
what a pass!
Such great pass by Fruity, and now we have Rodan on their heels again. You know, this is not where you're wanting to be if you're them or if you're a fan of them, for sure.
Yeah, I gotta be honest, their defense has looked shaky, but I mean their offense has been so just like full send that it doesn't really matter what their defense is doing in this series. Even though I personally would like to be better, but it like Wolffight is just creating so much, like he's just going for tilt plays. You know what I mean? Where it's just like they're gonna be mad. They're gonna be mad. Oh, come on, no.
There it is. There's the solidification.
Finally. But like these small little like weird positioning moments from Wolffight are just creating so much space and so much pressure for Rodan right now.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, right now, because of the calculated play coming out of Carnage and coming out of Beans, and just them creating this duo, he's able to making some shots, good opportunities here and there. They seem to be all over this Iron Squad, and they seem to be more comfortable now that Disease is back in. He's in his second game after his substitution, and because of that, you know, you have this momentum to be rebuilt. It's been rebuilt, and now they're building back on top of it. You know, it's like building a house, right? You start with your foundation. That foundation was that last game, and then you put up your framework. That framework was solidified winning that last game, and now we're starting to put the walls together. We're starting to put the decorations in. We're starting to do the trim. You know, we're really starting to put things together and figure out how we can play against this Iron Squad and what exactly that means for each individual on the Rodan to do.
Yeah, these I mean these Rodan players have looked really good this game, and I mean last game they looked all right, but I think they've finally found their groove, and I think wow, that was actually really great quickness from Fruity, and I think they're gonna have to rely on Fruity in Iron here to really make these plays for them. I'm not entirely sure how much you can lean on the fact that Fruity will find these really nice goals. I think you can't just hop in his backpack every game. PB&J and Robber have to really step it up and help out their boy.
Yeah, right. And so we look at their stats right now. You do have Fruity with a cycle, and well-deserved cycle, I might add. But then you have PB&J who is helping out in the goal-scoring category, and then you have Robert here with 3 saves. So they're all there. It's just putting it together consecutively as that just rolls off the crease and goes in, and we're going to take this into overtime. It is now 3-3, and exactly what needed to happen for the Iron Squad happens. And a miscalculated touch there from, I believe that was Carnage, leads to a misfortunate touch here, and bang, the goal is scored, and just we got 2 seconds of regulation left. Let's see if something can happen because of this. Moldy PB&J, they're keeping it up in the air.
That's gonna be rough. That's gonna be rough.
It does, and it's just dangerous. You want to just kill this ball, take it to overtime if you can, and there it is. But yeah, I mean, that just goes to show like how quickly things can turn around in this Rocket League series for this prospect here.
I will say though, I think that Iron has a really nice kickoff play. They always win it to the corner, and they're always right on top of it for the collapse. But again, I'm just concerned with how much they're gonna rely on Fruity. I mean, no way, dude. Actually, that. Okay, I was about to be like, I guess you can, because he'll just do it all, but, like, jeez, you know, yeah, oh man, I'm sorry, I lost my train of thought, because that was just, like, I was just blown away. Yeah,
Great shot there.
Robert coming through, helping out the team. Not that he didn't do anything all game, the man had 3 saves, alright, so working it on defense, but, you know, that offensive play, you can't score from, you know, with a save. I mean, you can, but you don't really see that often. But
Not common, yeah.
yeah. So I'm just like happy to see some offensive like step up from Iron here, and you know, and I will admit when I'm wrong. I thought Rodan was gonna take this one, and I'm eating my words right now.
See, and that's why you take the impartial route. No, but in all seriousness, though, Fruity, great game played from you. I mean, you got 2 goals, 2 assists, five shots, and 2 saves. I mean, just ridiculous. As I do believe we're gonna have a lobby remake here. Um, does look like we're having a lobby remake here really quickly. So, um, but yeah, great game played by both teams. I don't think that anything changes. I think that honestly, everybody's doing their part. Everybody is being able to get in there and make their touches and really solidify their spot on these starting rosters and why they deserved a spot or deserved a spot on them. But in all seriousness, though, I think that yes, you do have an overtime loss there. Yes, the Iron do go up to 3-2 now. Uh, but I don't think that anything changes for either team because they're so back and forth right now. They're so just like in each other's faces and not wanting to give the other team a competitive edge here. And I mean, this is why they are top tier prospect teams.
Oh, I think we accidentally had somebody join. We might need to remake this one too.
Remake number two.
Never mind. Cool. We're
No, we
good.
got it in. We're good. We're good. Alrighty, so we're going to actually do a little bit of a broadcast here for a second. That is going to be just shoutcasting, where we're just doing a little bit of a radio broadcast. So I'm going to go ahead and do some play-by-play here. Um, as we do have the orange team taking possession, I believe that's Iron. They're going to be able to put it back into the middle here now. Arnish Wolfblade trying to put some sort of possession on his. Beast is able to get another clear here. Great save coming out of Robert as he's able to get it away. And now we just got another back and forth matchup here, and we do have the gameplay now on the screen for you guys. But a lot of pressure coming out of both teams, a lot of shot opportunities coming because of it, and we're only 30 seconds into the game.
Yeah, this pressure's on for Rodan here. You're on match point. You have got to play the game of your life. You know, Iron have been playing great this series. Their defense has been just stellar. So I'm gonna need more from Wolfbite to start coming out with these demo plays and this disruption that he loves to do. As Diseased gets this really insane flick play all the way over into the upper right corner. What a great possession play and flick from him to get that over the defense.
Great possession play indeed. And then you see Carnage, he goes and he misses this opportunity for the touch on the ball, so he goes and he plans a calculated attack to get another touch here on maybe one of the defenders and then make something happen for his team. And because of that, a goal is scored. You know, this is exactly what we were talking about that we were wanting to see out of Carnage, and then here he is showing it full-fledged in full force all over the place, and because of that, we're now up 1-0 with Rodan leading.
Yeah, I think it's pretty crazy because like everything that Carnage is doing is not going to show up on the scoreline. You know, yeah, he'll have like demos or whatever, like bumps Enforcer or whatever, but you know, the stuff he's as Beans just sinks that one with 7 boost. What is going on? What?
Low boost in a dream. Low boost in a dream.
What a shot
Happens
from
all
her.
the time.
Ah, she caught him flat-footed, and he side-flipped. That's what happened there. Rodan are sitting pretty 2-0 in the series, 3.5 minutes left. I think we go to Game 7. That's all. I'm calling it right now. Game 7.
I hope so. I really do hope so. I mean, that would be insane, right? Like, that's everybody's dream, right? Get to Game 7 in a championship title series. But we still have lots of game left to play, so Iron are not out of it by any means. But with the confidence and the swagger that the Kaiju squad now have, it is going to be very difficult to break it, especially when they are just hounding in on you on your own defensive end.
Yeah, I think what's really changed this game for Rodan has been the possession of the ball. Like, all of these touches, their passes to each other, like right there, like Wolfbite passing it right back out to Disease. That's just a little bit far away from the defense. Beans, you know, another one to where she can take the ball again, and it's suddenly in front of the net. And Wolfbite goes in, and it scores past the defense. This is that, you know, that possession play that, like, I was talking about. They just are keeping it low to the ground, keeping it close to each other, and they're up 3-0 because of it.
Yeah, and that's just it, right? Is they're not doing anything fancy. They're just getting into it, playing bare bones Rocket League. They're going and playing a little bit dirty with these bombs, getting a little bit into it with these demos, and it just that's what it boils down to, and that's why they're here, right? Like finalist teams are not here by fluke accidents. These teams are here because they play really well together, and because you're seeing so much possession out of this Rodan squad, it's really fun to watch, and it's really fun to go and cast over, and we're just seeing nothing but calculated, methodical plays coming out of the Rodan squad here, as they really haven't had too much pressure to fend off here from the Iron squad, and that one just is gonna almost go in. Moldy makes a great save. I was almost gonna call it in. Moldy makes a great save there, and once again, the Iron find themselves on their heels.
Gotta be honest, Wolfbite is such an annoying player for Iron right now. I think he has figured out kind of like the perfect way to counter Iron's gameplay style. Like if you save the ball, I'm just gonna make it extremely hard for you by just making you do stuff that is like weird. I'm gonna get in your face. I'm gonna make you panic, and I think that Iron is really starting to crack. I mean, they're down by 3 this game. Carnage again sends another one at the net. Oh my gosh, this is just such like.
He just got another demo too.
Right.
He just got another demo, so he's staying calculated in the play, but not overstaying his welcome in that play. And that's why these capitalizations have been made from the Rodan squad, and why they're 3-0 into the last minute of the game. It's really, really fun Rocket League to watch, right? Like, nobody is just like, I might go hit this. No, they're all making decisions that are calculated. They're all making them to where they can potentially have somebody else come and make a cleanup or do what they got to do to get that ball into the back of the net. As we do get to the last 30 seconds here, I'm going to say we do go to Game 7. I'm going to call it early, but it is in their defensive end. But they have been able to turn it away so often and so well that no pressure and no shots have really come on from this Iron squad. They have 5 shots over the entire course of the first of this game, really, now that things are ending up. But you look at that, and you go over and you look at the Rodan squad, and they have just about doubled it. It's really, really good calculated Rocket League, and that takes us to a Game 7 with the series tied at 3. I mean, it's just I'm here for every single minute of it, and I couldn't have wrote a better storyline if somebody had asked me to. I mean, this is shaping up to be quite the series.
I honestly am so impressed with how Rodan played that last game. If they can play Game 7 like this, by the way, I don't know if there was a poll just put up. Does Iron secure it? Who wins it, basically? Don't forget to vote. Get your vote in. I'm going to go whole hog with Rodan, because that last game looked so clean, so clinical. Every ball went to somebody that was the same color as team as them, they had it on lock. Their possession game that they just couldn't, they were not letting go of the ball, and when they did let it go, it went into the net.
Yeah, no, I mean, yeah, I'm normally really, really impartial to things like this, and that's mainly because I don't want to curse anybody because of it. But Rodan playing insane right now. I mean, they are just playing their style of Rocket League. They're making the opposition play a game or play the ball around them and play the game around them. And because of that, they just won 3-0 against a team that was previously just all over the place, offensively and defensively in their end. So it boils down to who wants it more, who's hungrier for it more, who wants the championship. The poll is still up. It might have just ended, but you do have a little bit more time to go onto that poll, and neither team is making a substitution here. So it is just going to be bare bones Rocket League into the nitty gritty of it, and let's get into it.
Yeah, I'm so excited to see how this plays out. Does this offensive-based team, is that the best defense, or is the best defense a good offense? Game 7.
Game 7 underway, and we do have a lot of pressure coming on early from the Iron squad, but that's going to be turned away relatively with ease. And just as soon as they get out of it, the ball is transferred over into the midfield, and Iron definitely playing with a accurate, calculated offensive attack here. As Carnage is able to make another counter attack here, he's going to be able to get another touch with the pass. Pass is going to go off the backboard. Somebody's up for it. Carnage is up for it, but he just is unable to make a touch here. Disease now keeping it back in. Disease going to put it out towards the middle here for Beans. Beans got to make a shot. He gets the 50 there. And now Carnage Wolfbite is going to be able to put that back in. And a lot more pressure now coming in favor of the Rodan squad. As they're going to try to put it off of the backboard. He's unable to. It goes up and bounces. And no shot comes of it. But yeah, lots of calculated offensive pressure here from the Rodan squad as the shot goes in from Beans, and she's slapped away one in Game 7. Just over a minute of play into the Game 7, and the Rodan find themselves up 1-0.
You know, you were talking about calculated, but Beans is over here with her Texas Instruments, getting all of the measurements, all of the calculations, putting in the numbers, running them, and then scoring. This is such a huge momentum builder for Rodan. I'm excited to see how Iron can come back. It's only one goal.
True, it is one goal, but it's a very important goal, and this is 4 goals unanswered from the Iron squad. So in the past 2 games, past 6.5 minutes now, the Iron have been unable to score on the Rodan. And the Rodan still find themselves in their offensive end, just putting on shot after shot after shot and making play after play onto this Iron squad. And Beans and Carnage and Disease, they're all doing their part to make sure that this pressure stays consistent over onto this side of the Iron. And because of that, they find themselves so comfortably in 2 games, you know, 4-0 in these past couple games.
Yeah, I really got to hand it to Rodan. Their style of play has really slowed down over the series. I mean, not the demos, but like just the possession game, the rotation game. They have really spread out, and it is really starting to help them as Beans takes a shot, and oh my, so close. But like this spread out rotation has allowed them to kind of figure out where they need to be. They have a better eye on the field, and that allows them to take this possession. Like, look at this, like, look at the play! He just dribbles it over the defense. What a shot from Carnage Wolfbite. This is so crazy. The control that you have to have that really small first touch, and then to get it over the defender there with the air roll. Oh, dude, chef's kiss. Oh.
Definitely, but let's not undermine that midfield pass there. That midfield pass there by Beans is their offense is just clicking right now, and unfortunately for Iron, they find themselves on the opposite side of things. But Rodan, well played so far through this game. You still have half a game to close things out, but there's still half a game for them to be able to score on you. And they do look like they're picking up the pace a little bit here on the Iron side of things as a shot goes on. It's going to be saved. A great save, heroic save by Disease there, I might add, because had that gone in, the lead is cut in half, and you no longer have that insurance goal.
Yeah, I mean, if I'm Iron here, I'm going to probably try to play a little bit more aggressive. You can't just sit on your half of the field anymore, and you also have to start seeing your own team. I mean, look at these demo plays. This is so annoying to play against. Like unreal. Like these, like Carnage goes for a demo, and then it's Beans coming through for a demo. She just, you know, deletes that guy, and it rolls in. There's nothing they can do. They have figured out the way Metal likes to play, and it is looking pretty dire with 1:30 left. I'm not saying it's never happened, but it is going to be real rough here. If what they need to do is rely on Fruity, try and get a clutch goal like he has been.
Definitely. I mean, Fruity does need to come in a clutch here, but also his teammates need to be able to come up and support him a little bit better too. The goals are not scored, or they're not scored based off of just one player not being able to do their part, right? Like it's a team effort here. So put in a team effort here and try to get a calculated offense against this unbelievable Rodan team, as Beans is able to get herself a hat trick. Beans is unstoppable. She is on cloud 9. She is just feeling herself. Everything that she touches is gold, and it's going to go into the back of the net. And now they are down 4-0 with under a minute of play left, and Beans is just seeing it. She is all over it. The duo between Beans and Carnage Wolfbite, you know, we've seen it throughout the entire series. Disease trying to put a shot on that, it goes just wide. Disease is trying to clean, or Beans is trying to clean it up, but the duo is there. They're making things happening, or they're making things happen. They're
what a shot, dude! Oh my gosh!
Correct by Robber, and he just wants to let you guys know that he's still there and that they're not out yet. Well, great pass there by Foodie, but is it too late to start this attack? I mean, who knows? Time will tell. And we get almost into the last 30 seconds of the game.
I have seen crazier. Got 30 seconds. They need to score now. Otherwise, it's looking pretty dire.
Definitely, just time ticking away, not in favor of the Iron at all. A great clear there by Carnage. This is just going to whittle away at the clock here as we go into the final 15 seconds of the game. The Iron got to be scrambling. They got to be know that they have played a hell of a series, but unfortunately it won't be going in their ways. We do get down to the final 5 seconds here, and Rodan, an incredible series played. Didn't ever really give up on themselves, even when they were going down in the score line of the series. But hell of a game. I mean, it was ridiculous. I loved it.